the newer stuff that I haven't actually driven. Today we've picked up a 2013 Countryman, but this is an SD diesel variant of the Countryman, a car that I haven't had too many dealings with. To be fair, I haven't had too many dealings with newer diesel minis, so to me this is something relatively alien because I've only ever really shot or ever owned or ever been in petrol minis. Now, of course, this is a BMW derived diesel engine. What is it like to drive, and is it worthy of the Cooper S or SD badging that's on the back of this thing? It has kick plates actually that say Mini Cooper S on them. Is it worthy of the name though? Let's find out. But as ever, guys, make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't. If you have a car and you're Isle of Wight, Southampton or Portsmouth based and you would like to get it on the channel, please let me know in the comments below. Or shoot me a message on Instagram. But let's go and find some roads, see what this car's like. So the first thing I'm actually going to do is tip it into sport mode. So we tip that over, it says DS Sport, just like a BMW variant from these generations. We'll come down into second gear, about 140, 150 brake horsepower, just over 300 Newton meters of torque in these. Not gonna rip your face off, but what I want to find out is it composed like a Cooper S is? Because this is higher off the ground, there's more weight, the weight is higher as well. Let's put it through some corners, see what it's actually like, because again, I've never really driven something that's higher in Mini's range. I've driven and owned Mini Cooper S's in the past and absolutely love them. An R53 to be exact, fantastic car. But if you've got kids and you've got on in life and you need, you know, something that does over 20 mpg everywhere, is this a shout? And if you like your Minis, is it something you'd be interested in? So we'll just drop it down, third gear. Brakes are pretty good. Not too much in a sense of weight high up. I can't feel a lot of weight above me, which is quite nice. You can definitely feel that it's a larger vehicle to other Minis that I've been in, and that you are of course higher off the ground. Not as much as you would say from Audi's range. If you were, you know, in A3 to Q5 say, you would probably notice a lot more roll and a lot weight higher up than one of these. And I've only said that because price point, these are, you know, just shy of 10 grand these days. For a 13 plate one, yes, you'll get one cheaper, but I will say if you're actually up for buying one of these, get one with this spec. This spec is so good. It's probably one of the highest spec ones you're going to get, because it has the 2-litre turbocharged diesel engine with the automatic gearbox. Paddles go up and down, thumb paddles on these generations of Minis, just like the BMWs from the same generation. Has a Harman Kardon sound system, which is really good. Again, an option that I would say go for. Full leather interior in this one with heated seats, which again, something that I would opt for if I was looking. And dual pan sunroofs. Now they actually both pop up. Pretty cool feature this. They both pop up, but I want them to go fully back. The back one actually goes down and it actually goes over the top of it. Pretty cool design actually. Not a lot of automakers with the pan roofs have them both popping up. If you don't want the sunroof open at all times, you just want it to lift it a little bit, they actually both lift up. Pretty cool feature. Also a cool feature and an odd one is the handbrake. It's like landing gear on an aeroplane. It's so funny. Reminds me oddly of a Renault Megane handbrake. If you know, you know. If you don't, look it up on the internet. It's basically the same thing. It's a cool design, it's pretty quirky. This one actually has an armrest as well, which is a shout. And it's not like it's high mileage, but it does put people off. This one has 97,000 miles on it. That will put a lot of people off. A lot of people that are willing to PCP finance one of these, maybe a slightly newer one on PCP. That does worry a lot of people. What we'll do is we'll turn down a rather rough road and see what it's like at this mileage. Do I feel the wear and tear? That's the question. You can't actually feel the mileage. I know, again, I'm, you know, not going to focus around the mileage in this video, but if you are skeptical as to what these are like with a few miles on them, it isn't too dissimilar to one, you know, with 40,000 miles on, in my opinion. I can't feel too much in a sense of wear and tear in this car. Again, I daily drive a 200,000 mile Lexus, so I think I'd be able to spot wear and tear on cars, and this one, bump there, fine. No cracks and bangs, not bad. How's that for a view? Nice. I thought I'd bring it here because it's one of those areas on the Isle of Wight that a lot of people come for picnics and stuff, and I feel like because of the four-wheel drive, but it's not four-wheel drive, it's Mini's version of the all-wheel drive. Basically, it moves the power where it needs to. You're more than happy to come to this sort of area with, you know, a couple of ruts here and there. If you were in any other Mini, you would be so worried coming into the first bit of this car park and this part, and you wouldn't be able to get that shot. Now, this is where cars like this come into its element. A lot of people out there might be not liking this car because it is higher off the ground, because it's got more ground clearance, because it's got an adaptive four-wheel drive system that, yes, isn't all-wheel drive or four-wheel drive. It works all four wheels. Basically, what I'm trying to explain is, a lot of people out there, families especially, and myself included, want a car that is actually able to do softly everything. If you want to softly, as in not crazy off-roading, go off-road to a picnic spot, you can in this car. You're not worried about the ground clearance, you're not worried about necessarily getting stuck. Yes, if you were to be really silly and go in massive muddy ruts and stuff, it's probably going to get stuck, but you know full well you're probably good for it. Also, that view, I'm going to say again, nice. Also, as we are here, let's talk about the styling, because the Cooper S branding is of course very apparently S on the front, S on the sides, S on the back, but it does have thicker bumpers like a genuine Mini Cooper S from previous generations would have had. Different grills. I think it's still in keeping with the Cooper S name and branding, but it's just in more of a, you know, sensible way. I know, I don't want to be sensible either, I understand, but kids and life and picnics. Now, I must admit, I'm pretty surprised with this car. It's tighter than I thought it was going to be. A lot of these crossovers these days and higher built cars, they just compromise so much in driver feel. This, I still think, has a lot going for it in a sense of how it is to drive. Because you have the diesel engine, yes, it isn't as sprightly as a Cooper S with a turbocharged petrol engine, but it isn't that slack either. I mean, it does have some get up and go, but you're retaining 45-50 mpg very, very easily in this thing. It will do just under 500 miles to a tank, and a tank is about 70 quid to fill up, which is, from someone that likes big engine cars, that's pretty impressive. You can get them a lot cheaper than that, and you can get them very poorly spec'd as well. I will say that. Watch the spec on these, because there's a lot of them out there that aren't as nicely spec'd as this one. I'd definitely go with one with leather, heated seats, Harman Kardon sound system, pan roof, various things like that. Worthy of the Mini Cooper S badging that it has literally in the door as you get in. Yes, I feel like it does, because if you are migrating from a little hot hatch and you need something slightly bigger, something easier to get in and out of, something a little bit more family friendly, boot does have a slight compromise in size. You can actually bring the rear seats forward, and then you have tons of space in the back, but you are of course taking away a little bit of space from the rear seats. But it's a nice option to have. You could opt for more boot space. Like, yeah, it's pretty quirky for a mid-size crossover SUV. I feel like it is a pretty good compromise between having a family and, you know, wanting to get on in life. And I talk about that a lot with some of these cars, where you want to capture some fun and some interesting aspects in a car, but you also want the drivability and the size, the space, because with kids comes things like prams and scooters. This could pretty much swallow it all up and do 45 mpg, and then when everyone's out of the car, you can put the pan roof back and drop some gears and still enjoy it that way. It's a great compromise between the two. I feel like, though, if you were to get a lesser model than this, you would definitely be compromising there. I do feel like this is just where it needs to be. Any less power than this, any less amenities than this, any less size than this, I feel like you're really, really going to notice it. But as ever, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you did like today's video, please give it a like. Again, if you have a car that you would like me to feature for the channel, please let me know. Again, in the comments on Instagram, let me know. But thank you so much for watching. We'll see you on the next one.